The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
It's authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically antagonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herald here on Badlands Media. I am your host, Jon Herold, and happy Juneteenth Day, everybody. What a day, a day where we celebrate
The Jews.
Right? That's why they call it Juneteenth. That's what we decided. I don't know what color I'm supposed to be wearing. Who's in the chat that said that? Riv508, John, you better be wearing pride colors. I don't know what color you're supposed to wear for Juneteenth. Do you wear like the blue? Am I supposed to wear Star David? Am I supposed to wear all black? Am I supposed to wear blackface to celebrate Juneteenth? I don't know. So I didn't do any of that. But anyway, Pen W says, John, did you find out anything about the credit card? You should be able to rerun it. I got a message from Cheryl about that yesterday. It should be fixed. So give it another shot, Pen W, and I appreciate you doing so. New case, he sounds abnormally happy today. It's making me uncomfortable. Me? I don't know. I'm feeling all right. We did get more Declass from Tulsi. It's a lot of pages. I haven't had a chance to read through it all. My kids are a little. My son said this morning, he was like, I was getting out of the shower. He was in like this little room down the stairs that we have, and he's like, Dad, I think I have cabin sickness. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, cabin sickness. I need to go do something. He meant cabin fever. Is really funny. Ash 7076 says American Red or Commie Red. Yeah, we will talk a little bit about what Tulsi put out. I'm probably not going to go into detail though until I have a chance to actually go through the documents, which with everything going on, I don't know if that might not be till after GART, if I'm being totally honest. But it doesn't look like we got the election Declass before she left, which you heard that here first. I am pretty sure. I told you guys it was going to be delayed at least a week. And the rumor is, what I'm hearing, it's going to be coming out in a report in a press conference next Wednesday, the 24th, as a kickoff to GART. They timed it so well for us. I saw Ty is on the road again, just filled up his tank, heading to Deadwood early, which is amazing. Can't wait to get down there. You do sound unseasonably chipper. It must be the holiday. It must be. Maybe I am. I don't know. I kind of slept in a little bit today, but I didn't go to bed very early, so I didn't get more sleep than normal. So I don't know. But anyway, let's get a quick word from our sponsors, and we're going to start plugging away at the news. We have some Iran updates, like the peace talks or whatever, the peace deal, the memorandum of understanding, the pre-agreement is on the brink, but maybe not anymore. But maybe we don't know. We'll go through what's happened, and then the Declass stuff, a couple other random stories, bunch of Truth Social posts. Ash 1776 keeps saying all slaves free. Haven't they been free? At least here. I mean, we're still slaves. I don't know, Ash. That's something we're gonna have to talk about. But first up, we got Save Pulse as a sponsor today. Save Pulse. Unexpected health emergencies don't wait. And with Save Pulse, you can stay prepared From trusted medications like amoxicillin, azithromycin, ivermectin, and hydroxychloroquine to the medical emergency kit designed to help support over 30 common illnesses, SafePulse makes it easy to stock up on essential health supplies. At SafePulse, keeping your family prepared has never been easier, and it's all delivered through a simple, streamlined ordering process at prices you can feel good about. Whether you need an emergency kit or you're stocking up on everyday essentials, now's the time to be ready for whatever comes your way. SafePulse, guys. Badlandsmedia.tv/meds, promo code Badlands. And then obviously in honor of Juneteenth, we got to play our Juneteenth ad. It's the last day we'll be able to do this for a while. So enjoy it. Soak it all in. Order yourself some soft disclosure and allow, you want to soak that in too. Allow that to soak into your skin.
He changed his shirt 3 times before he left. Tried on a smile that didn't
Everybody
fit
saved.
quiet.
Everybody.
Else like they
Even
knew
me?
who.
Especially you.
You mean I just have to use a promo code to get the discount?
Phoebe truly is an idiot.
He had to earn it anyway. Come as you are. That's who we're waiting for. You don't need a different face walking through that door. Come as you are. You are not from the sky. Soft disclosures for everybody.
Hi, fellas. What year is it?
Soft disclosures for everybody.
Soft disclosures for everybody. All right, let's get after it here. No update on the Doge website. Gold and silver they're down again. 4,100 for gold. Silver's at 65. Bitcoin is up a little bit from yesterday, but not much. Almost to $63,000. And gas prices continue to fall just a little bit every day. Down another 2 cents. It's been the trend. If it goes down 2 cents, okay, well, let's do a little math here. Because CannCon said $2.40 national average by July 4th. So let me ask the AI, how many days until July 4th, 2026? 15 days. Okay, so if we continue going down 2 cents a day, if my math is correct, that is roughly 30 cents. This will be at 360. I don't know, guys. I'm a little skeptical. Don't think it's going to happen. But maybe. We'll see. I don't remember what we bet, but I think it was like a lot of money. No update on the presidential website. And I think there's a couple tidbits from my social media I want to talk about first before we get into the Israel conflict. No, what? Actually, let's just do it. We'll just jump into the Israel stuff. So immediately afterwards, yesterday, Wednesday, the memorandum of understanding was signed. And then we had a banger of a power hour. We went through it. We talked about a lot of things, including the fact that Israel doesn't want this. They're not even a part of it. And yet, if they do anything to break the agreement, like that's perfect reason for us to just walk away, wipe our hands clean. Like that's it. Which everybody expected them to kind of do what they've done the last couple of days, which is continue fighting and bombing Israel. I mean, they went and bombed almost immediately after that memorandum of understanding was signed. Allegedly, supposedly, the peace is back on the table now, and this is just very recently this morning. Israel Hezbollah agreed a ceasefire as U.S. tries to close broader agreement with Iran to end the war. Let me find the part here. CBS News is reporting the ceasefire based on what it said was information from 3 diplomats briefed on the matter. Could be totally bullshit. Who knows? Anonymous sourcing, these things, especially with the war. Like, oh, yep, we have from our sources that they've agreed to peace, and then they immediately start firing. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. The ceasefire follows renewed fighting overnight between Israel and Hezbollah. The United States and Iran recently entered into a so-called memorandum of understanding to end the war. President Trump signed the agreement Wednesday, and the sides have 60 days to reach a final agreement according to the memorandum. However, Israel attacking Iran proxy Hezbollah in southern Lebanon is complicating matters. Trump and on Friday, Vice President J.D. Vance sharply criticized Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for the attacks. Kind of here for it. Like, very here for it. You know what? Actually, I have a clip that I was going to post, but I'm holding off now because maybe the peace deal is back on the table for a little bit. We'll see what happens, but let me pull this up. This is from the Power Hour. Where did I put it? There it is. And I said it very succinctly here, and I think I said it on Wednesday's Daily Herald show too, but this is kind of what I'm expecting, and I'm hoping it's the justification for us to wipe our hands clean. It's going to be interesting to see what happens after this, because if Trump can get Iran to agree to a peace deal and Israel breaks it or does anything, we now have the perfect opportunity to walk away, hands clean, never have to worry about it again. We have given them $244 billion since 1936. They have so much money that is funneled back in to lobby our politicians, that we know of, to lobby our politicians. They have paid off influencers in the United States to push pro-Israeli propaganda. That stuff's got to stop. And I think the best way to get that to stop is for us to like, hey guys, we have an agreement here with Iran. Israel does not want to do it. They're left to their own devices. We're walking away. Let's cut all that shit off. Never again. And I'm perfectly okay. That's my entire, at the beginning of this is like, I don't want to be involved in this. I don't want to be involved in the foreign war. I want to deal with our own problems here domestically. Trump had his reasoning, whatever it is, to get involved over there. Okay, fine. And now we have the justification to never have to deal with it again. If it goes down that way, which I'm expecting it kind of will. There you go. And it so far has gone down that way. But yeah, JD Vance was supposed to go to Switzerland. They were going to start, where did I put that? Here we go. They were going to start the negotiation, like the full 60-day window and of the pre-agreement to negotiate the real agreement. And they delayed it. They didn't go because of this. So I don't know, kind of feels like everything's a little up in the air again, but we'll see what happens. And that might be all the time I spend on the Israel stuff today. We'll see. Israel gets free healthcare in college. Why do we give them money? Great question. Great question. Shit must be getting real to have this team on during the day. Don't know what you mean. Speaking of lobbying dollars and stuff, I found yesterday that CJ Pearson, and maybe you guys don't know who CJ Pearson is, but he's a fairly popular, like 500-some thousand followers on Twitter. He's young. He's like the future conservative, I don't even know what to call him. He's just very popular, and he's like pushed a lot by a lot of the conning people. And I found yesterday that he is a registered foreign agent. He is making $20,000 a month from the Bahamas. I mean, it's not one of the main countries we talk about when we talk about lobbying, but this is just one of the ones we know about now. How many people are receiving money from foreign countries that we don't know about? But like, I'm very curious at some point, and I don't know how this will look or how it will be revealed or if it will be revealed, but I really do believe we need some sort of exposure of just who in the social media influencer ecosystem is receiving money from foreign countries. Because the currency of the future is authenticity, integrity, and authenticity. There's not much of that to go around. And every time you see somebody taking money from a foreign country, they are literally taking money to push foreign propaganda. And this guy, like, I saw one response, like, what's the big deal? At least he disclosed it. He signed up for FARA or whatever. Let me find where it is. This one. Well, he is registered, right? He reported the payments. Has he lied about anything? Honest question. I prefer to not have foreign influence, period, but I'm willing to accept that not everyone is nefarious. And if there is positive outcomes, okay, other concerns are bigger. I kind of disagree. I mean, yeah, he registered with FARA. He didn't disclose to his followers that he's receiving money to push messaging on behalf of a country that isn't the United States. It's absurd. And it's one of the things I hope we can put an end to at some point. But yeah, let's talk about the Tulsi thing. Let me find that. This is a video she put out last night. 11 million views. 5.5 minutes, kind of long, so I'm going to speed it up a hair. And we'll go through it. Again, I didn't read through the documents yet. I will eventually. But just based on this already, the posting, the video, it's again not any new information, nothing that we didn't already know back in 2021 or maybe even before that.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives. Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19 and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when, under oath, he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins. Once again, revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth. Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume three key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to Big Pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind-the-scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars, all of this in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available. Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release, the intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations.
She's got the binders on her desk right now. Is this Bindergate 2.0? Did she hand these out to influencers? Did she film it with a potato and release it that way? Man, we can make so many jokes about the Bindergate stuff. I love it when they do that. But also, like, why even have that? Why even do that? Why even print it out? What a waste of taxpayer dollars printing that paper.
He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analysts praised Dr. Fauci not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives. Now, Fauci didn't stop there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. Now, we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization, and many suffered career setbacks. For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not. The message was clear: go along or be punished. Senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints, and also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during ODNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people.
I got to just comment in the chat. So Phil Scarborough says, this coming from her will convince more people like my wife who refused to believe Fauci did anything wrong. Now she's seen this and was like, wow, that's progress. So your wife prior did not believe that the United States was funding gain of function research in Wuhan, because that information was like all over the place. But the fact that Tulsi said it has now convinced her. If so, that's great and interesting. I kind of find that hard to believe. Not that I don't like believe what you're saying. It's just that's surprising to me. Because I wouldn't be surprised if she's already said that. Let me see if I can go to her regular Twitter from back in Tulsi Gabbard. I should probably spell Tulsi right. What is this her official account? Yes, it is. Okay. Gain of function. And maybe I'll be wrong here, but there's a couple posts talking about, this is 2022.
Frankly, it's the most important.
Congresswoman, thank you so much for coming on. So
Thank you,
it
Tucker.
does seem like a pretty basic question, maybe the most basic question. Isn't now the time to find out where this came from? Shouldn't we know?
Frankly, it's the most important question because the most dangerous thing facing the American people and frankly the world is the fact that people like Dr. Fauci and those in power refuse to even acknowledge that there is a very real possibility, even a probability, that the origins of COVID came from the kinds of so-called scientific gain of function research, this dangerous research that is funded by American taxpayers at the behest of the likes of Dr. Fauci, that was occurring in China and other countries around the world, and even here in the United States. This is what needs to be investigated, and this dangerous research, which Fauci refuses to acknowledge or speak about every time he's questioned about it, this is what needs to end because it is endangering the people of this country and people around the world.
I thought that the press secretary's description of Fauci was the most telling. Our guest. This is not a guest. This is a government official whose salary we pay. And we have
That's
a
exactly
right to hear the answer to the question. But the White House is acting like the serf should just shut up. We have no right to ask it. I mean, this does not look like democracy to me at all.
You're exactly right. She's talking about him as a guest when, as you said, he works for the American people, not for much longer. But we can't deny the danger that he has created.
So back in 2022, I mean, the part at the beginning there, maybe she says it again later, but she already said that the gain of function research was being funded by the United States taxpayer. How is that any different than what we're getting now? Like she's saying the same. Tulsi literally already said this back in 2022. So why is her saying it now any different? We'll finish out the video and then talk about it.
People around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized, self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly elected president by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.
Old School 69 says, John, this video is fake AI. Maybe, I don't know. I don't care, but they're promoting it as if it's not. Commander Kim says, you think everyone watches Fox News? No, I don't. But that wasn't the only place it was said. Like everybody was talking everywhere about the gain of function research being funded by the United States. Like that was all over the place. So again, my point is that, and this is Chris Paul's point. It's what he said. We talk about this all the time. We're not saying, like, we're not trying to downplay the information. We're just saying that this information was true already, and her saying it doesn't make it any more true. It was already true back in 2021. It's just as true today. And she isn't like, I guess maybe she is, but I haven't gone through the papers yet to see if there's actually any new information that we didn't already know. Maybe there's the details on certain things. But again, it's like if people need to be told by like some authoritative figure something in order for them to believe it, like what do we do with that? How do we work with those kind of people? If that's the case, and they're the ones that get to choose who that authoritative figure is, when other people are saying it, but they don't want to believe it until somebody of prominence or whatever says it, like that, man, we have so much more work to. We're never going to get there. if that's the case. If we're waiting for those people to be woken up because we need certain authoritative figures to be the ones saying the things, we're in bigger trouble than we realize. RT Joan, but John, people are very slow to grasp. That's a nicer way of saying that people are retarded. I do agree that the people are retarded. We're all a little retarded. That's okay. But then again, like this, it kind of comes back to like the whole trust the plan. It's all about waking up the normies, all that shit. I'm just sick of it. I'm beyond that. Like, if that is what we're doing, we will never get there. At some point, we just need to say F the normies and plow straight ahead. So I don't know. Fix Bayonet, we drag them along with us. Maybe. Brent 84, my husband got autologous transplant and they tried to push IVIG on him. If he would have gotten donated IgG, his whole transplant would have been all for naught. I don't know if I understand some of that. But Howard Tuck, good to see you, man. Ramon, people must be shocked out of the brainwashing executions. You think that's the only thing that's going to do it? If so, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get those. I know some people want them. Some people definitely deserve it. But I don't know. E.H. Cal John, I think it's about knowing that Fauci lied. It's not that we fund it. But again, we already knew he lied. That was already a thing. Rand Paul was talking about that. Everybody's talking like he clearly lied to Congress back like 6 years ago. Not new information. Phil Scarborough, I think we forgot how long we've been in the info psyop war, how much we critically think out everything and understand the ops. A lot of people in my life are clueless and still believe the Matrix. Yeah, totally get it. Cybermark, don't knock Q. Q has been the eye-opener for many. I'm not knocking the Q. I'm knocking the decoders. Clear distinction. Very clear distinction. Nunya 941. I feel like she gives more validity saying that something should have happened to him because I hear a lot of, well, nothing's happened to him, so clearly he didn't do anything. Yeah, we will see. Hold on. Anita Happens. Listening to Chris's theory this morning on Daily about the left's attempts to get things on the record about rainbow hats on sports players to skew future history. Maybe we are doing the same too. Interesting. Everybody lies to Congress, nothing happens to them. And Congress lies to us more than anybody. The people who tell the most lies in the halls of Congress are Congress themselves. Yet none of them ever get held accountable. So to say that we're not allowed to lie to, or to, how do I want to phrase this? To say that we can get in trouble because like that it's a law that you can't lie to Congress when they can't even prove their own legitimacy and they lie more than anybody, that's ridiculous. Black Hat Destroyer, you should read what the Lord Jesus went through in John 7:25 through 29. People questioned if he was real. Sounds like a lot of reading. Division over who Jesus is. Let me. Okay. At that point, some of the people of Jerusalem began to ask, isn't this the man they are trying to kill? Here he is, speaking publicly, and they are not saying a word to him. Have the authorities really concluded that he is the Messiah? But we know where this man is from. When the Messiah comes, no one will know where he's from. And Jesus, still teaching in the temple courts, cried out, yes, you know me, and you know where I'm from. I'm not here on my own authority, but he who sent me is true. You do not know him, but I know him because I am from him, and he sent me. Is how, I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm really curious as to what's up with John Sullivan. He's been laying out the rugs for months, and now he's going back to work with the Gov. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Oh, shoot. I just accidentally exited out of something I did not mean to, but I'm just going to find that story. Okay. John Solomon announces temporary unpaid role with the government to identify documents. Isn't that interesting? John Solomon to temporarily step aside in his role as editor-in-chief to assist the government in identifying classified or withheld documents concerning weaponization and election integrity. on his own show. Let me see if I can find the clip of him talking about this. Hold for processing. Did I spell that wrong? Of course I did. Here we go.
One programming note. I want to make sure everybody on this show is aware of it. I put it as a disclaimer on all my shows. I mentioned it on my podcast today. For the next couple of months, I'm working as an unpaid government employee to help the government identify documents that can be released to the public. It's your information after all. Bureaucrats keep us from it. I have an opportunity to help the government identify some documents, some secrets, and things you should know about when it comes to weaponization, election integrity, other things. We're going to work on that. But during that time, I just want you to know I've stepped aside as the editor-in-chief of Just the News. I still do my reporting. We're still going to do the amazing show here with Amanda. But I want everybody to know that I'm doing this. I'm unpaid. I don't take any money from the government. I think it's a good role for a journalist to play, getting more information out. But I want you to know personally. I
don't know. I don't know what to think of that. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's happening. But as Phil Scarborough pointed out, it's been kind of rug city from him lately anyway. And I've been keen in on John Solomon. He's been like my boy at the beginning of the administration as the leading edge of a lot of the Declass stuff. But from what I'm hearing from other people, like the DNI's office, Tulsi Gabbard, is not the one going through the election stuff. It's coming from the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, and it's potentially coming next week, maybe Wednesday. That's the rumor. But like, why are they just now bringing him in? Like, shouldn't they have already gone through and found all these documents? CannCon is trying to duck out and say that he did not say national average. Let me find the date of the show, because I know for a fact I have a screenshot of the chat, and this was on what day? May 15th. Hold for processing, guys. Now, when somebody challenges me that I'm lying about a bet, I have to go and prove it wrong. So May 15th, that was like over a month ago. It was during a power hour, if I'm not mistaken. Was this it? No. I got to go a little bit further back. Let's go to here. Except I do think it was on with, or was it? It was on OnlyLens. That's what it was. We're gonna prove it, guys. Just hold on. This is definitely worth it. Get the transcript up. Okay, I think I found it. Just gotta get to the right part here. Okay, ready, CannCon? Here we go. This is May 15th's OnlyLens, where we're talking about the gas prices. And I bring up Brian making a prediction.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with that until it doesn't happen. But
Brian's making prediction. Brian says $2.40 a gallon on July 4th.
Okay, so we need to memorialize that.
I think you pulled up on the thing. Yeah.
I'm
going to say
above him too.
I'm going to say that gas is going to be in some state, it's going to be $1.77. It's going to be like 1.7756 at the end. Some state.
I like it.
I don't know what state it's going to be. It's going to be some obscure state where gas is really low, but it's going to hit that. It's going to be a marker. It's going to be a decode, John. It's going to be $1.70.
like some random small town gas station in a town of 12 people making gas $1.77.
Then I'm right.
6 for
No, national average. Gotta be talking about national.
Oh,
average.
no. I don't think
national
the
average.
national
That's what I think we're doing.
No.
Oh, I like, Rubber Heart 129.
Yeah, thank you, Rubber Heart.
76 cents.
That's exactly what I was going for. Yep.
So CannCon thinks the average price of gas, which right now is $4.50, is going to come down to $2.40 in less than a month and a half.
That's what CannCon says, yeah.
He does make a lot of predictions.
Yeah.
Is he ever right? Has he ever been right once?
He definitely predicted earlier this week that the Alabama was not going to redraw their Congress.
There you have it. National average, CannCon. We discussed on the show, and I have the screenshot of you saying 240. So I don't think we're going to get there, but we'll see. And now that you're coming out and being like, I never said national average, you must not feel very confident about your prediction anymore. So how dare you make me just totally derail my entire show just to prove you wrong. New Case says, well, he isn't right about how you say Nevada. That's funny. TNTND, not calling you guys a dickhead. I'm talking about the oil company and the politicians being a dickhead. Yeah. All right, Kate, let's get back to the flow of the show now that it's been totally disrupted. Where else? What else was I going to talk about? I got to figure out where I was in my... Oh, we could talk about this real quick. You know how me and Chris have been talking about that Trump doesn't actually want the Save America Act passed? And he keeps making like ridiculous things so that he's like trying to tank it, essentially. It seems like the mainstream media is kind of catching on to that, which I think is interesting. This is from Axios yesterday. Trump's Save Act obsession ties the Senate in knots. President Trump won't let go of the Save America Act voting bill, no matter how many times Senate Republicans make it known it's never going to happen. Why it matters? Trump's refusal to relent on his voter ID proof of citizenship plan shows how far removed he is from the vote counting realities of Congress and how that disconnect is starting to carry real consequences. Trump dropped a bombshell Truth Social post early Wednesday declaring that he wouldn't allow the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act to be renewed until the Save America Act passes as well. Talks about Bill Pulte and stuff. Trump keeps searching for new leverage to force the Senate to pass the Save America Act despite repeated warnings that the votes aren't there. This year he has repeatedly demanded to kill it or whatever, vowed not to reopen the Department of Homeland Security, announced a legislative blockade, and he wouldn't sign any bills, which he has. Demanded Republicans include the act in a broader reconciliation package, despite Senate rules that likely prevent it. Trump has loaded the Save America Act with proposals that don't have anything to do with voting policies, including a ban on transgender women playing in women's sports and restrictions on gender-affirming medical care for minors. Trump's relentlessness has put Senate Majority Leader John Thune in the impossible position of trying to placate the president without any realistic way of satisfying his demands. I just find that hilarious. This is what me and Chris have been saying. Even though everybody online is like, no, we got to have the Save America Act. People are starting to notice that, hey, maybe Trump doesn't actually want it. Like, why is he acting like this? He's not acting like somebody who actually wants this thing passed. So I think it's great. Edgar Friendly says John Solomon might not be getting paid by the government, but if he's releasing the info on X, he's going to make bank. That's true. It's very true. Oh, and Phil Scarborough wanted me to remind everybody that speaking of OnlyLands, you guys are not going to want to miss tonight's episode. You especially want to be there at the beginning because Phil Scarborough's been working on a little something, and it's pretty awesome. So make sure you guys tune in. There was one more story. No, I covered that already. Okay, never mind. Let's get into some of Trump's Truth Social posts. And I don't know, go from there. This was about almost 24 hours ago. The United States is committed to peace, and we encourage everyone in the Middle East region to maintain their commitment to allowing our negotiations to beautifully unfold. The markets are loving what is happening with oil prices way down and stocks way up. We expect a complete ceasefire on all fronts, including Lebanon, Hezbollah, and Israel. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Then obviously the fighting ensued. And then he went on to talk about election stuff. It seems as though the great state of Utah, which I won each time and handily, is going to the all mail-in ballot format of Colorado, and the rest that always head left as soon as the move is made. We should stop Utah from doing this. All mail-in ballots dishonestly handled are a big advantage for the Democrats, whose only road to victory, because their policies are so insane, is cheating. Does the Republican Party have any idea what is happening to it? Step by step, state by state, the Democrats are smiling all the way to the bank. Stop the onslaught by either immediately terminating the filibuster and or pass the Save America Act, which he doesn't want that to actually pass, in my opinion. And then he goes on to say, anybody who doesn't want to terminate the filibuster is a fool, a very stupid one. They're retarded. That's what he is essentially saying. The Democrats will end it within minutes of taking office and then rapidly proceed to destroy our country, adding 2 radical left states, 4 Democrat senators, many congressmen and women, their dream of 21 Supreme Court justices, not just 13, an unlucky number, an impossible to beat number of electoral college votes, and that's the ball game, popular vote landslides, and so much else. The Republican Party will never win another election. I will sadly be the last Republican president. Senate Majority Leader John Thune and the Republican Senate must not let this carnage happen. They will go down on the wrong side of history, as will all Republicans who just stood by and watched. The Republican Party isn't at stake. Our country is. Terminate the filibuster and immediately approve the Save America Act. God bless the USA. But don't think that's going to happen. The Democrats are better at one thing than the Republicans, and that's cheating. Make America great again. Goes on to say, back to the war stuff. This was this morning. The war has diminished Iran. It doesn't any longer have an Air Force and Navy, anti-aircraft equipment, radar, or practically anything else. And yet the Democrats say that Iran is better off now than it was 4 months ago. Can you imagine getting away with that? How stupid can some people be? And then, we didn't meet out of desperation. Iran did. They're finished. We'll play out the 60 days. They get no money, not 10 cents. And then he goes on to like say glowing things about Senator Lindsey Graham. So all over the map. Love how he keeps drawing attention to cheating. Hopefully we're getting that election stuff next week. The Iran war, we'll see what happens. It's going to keep flip-flopping, I bet, for a little while. The TOB1A5, I think it's interesting he's referring to the market as though it's a sentient being. That's funny. That's true. Arena in the Woods is very late. It's okay. It's a holiday. It's Juneteenth. I understand people probably celebrating. Don't expect you to tune in for the show when that's happening. Penn W. OnlyLands is awesome. I like having a break from all the politics that OnlyLands provides. Yeah, OnlyLands is a fun time. I think tonight on the show, we're going to have, let me double check. It'll be me, Ash, Jay, Josh Reed, Cam, and then maybe Zach. I'll let you guys know with Zach for sure. But those 5 I just listed are a definite, unless somebody backs out. Anything else that I wanted to get into? I may already be through all my stories now. Let me check my news aggregator, see if there's anything else. Some Iranian singer received 74 lashes for singing patriotic song without a hijab. That's crazy. Oh yeah, California took Carlos Mencia to jail for tax stuff, which I think it's stupid. People getting arrested for tax fraud is one thing, or like committing fraud with your finances, that's one thing, but not paying taxes, I actually support people doing that. So that might be it. All right, what do you guys want to talk about? No, let's do a quick Rumble Studio ad, and I'll come back and I'll just hang out with you guys for the rest of the show. And you guys can say whatever you'd like. All right. Let me get this up and running here. Okay. Quick question. How much control do you have over your money right now? Technology has changed everything, and now it's changing how money works. Crypto started as a niche, but now it's going mainstream. Faster payments, more control, fewer middlemen. This isn't just hype. It's where things are going. And getting started today is easier than you think. With Rumble Wallet, you can buy Bitcoin, hold dollar-backed stablecoins, even own digital gold backed by real gold, all in one place. It's a non-custodial crypto wallet, which means you, not a bank or a platform, control access to your funds. Setup is simple. Connects with MoonPay so you can use your debit card, credit card, or bank account and be up and running in minutes. And for a limited time, you can start your wallet with just $10 in US stablecoins by downloading the Rumble wallet and entering our exclusive promo code here, Herold10, Herold10, when you sign up. Free $10. I repeat, free $10. You can even use your Rumble wallet to support your favorite Rumble creators, like those of us here at Badlands, directly. So do this now, scan the QR code, click the link in the description, or go to wallet.rumble.com/Herold and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, enter promo code Herold10, Herold10, to get your $10 in US stablecoin. It's a limited time offer, so act now. Take control of your money. Get started with Rumble Wallet today. Again, you can go to Rumble Wallet, sign up, get $10, free $10, and then you can use that to support Badlands Meat. I think it's a no-brainer. No-brainer. Or you can just keep it yourself, maybe buy a couple gallons of gas, two-ish gallons of gas with the current national average. No-brainer, guys. Free money. Commander Kim, no story on the biggest gamer in the world reading British Grape Report yesterday for 6 hours. You agreed to the national average, CannCon. Stop trying to backtrack. We talked about this on multiple shows, and you can't try to back out now. It's kind of disappointing that you're trying to back out now. John, remember to bring Chris his boomerang at GART. Maybe he can teach his little dog how to fetch it. Thank you for that reminder. I don't know how he's going to. I'll have to remind him to bring a big enough suitcase. Tracy in the net, no banking today for Juneteenth because nothing celebrates Black National Freedom Day like closing the banks. That's hilarious. I'm going to have to go back and watch that entire episode now just to confirm this bet. I wonder if I can get... I doubt I took more screenshots of that chat back then, but maybe I did. Let's see if you were mentioned anymore in that chat real quick. Brian's making a prediction. Brian says 240 national average. And we went on to talk shit about Alpha for a little bit. But yeah, guys, if you haven't yet, you should probably get your GART tickets. Reminds me. Badlandsmedia.tv/events. If you plan on coming to the golf outing on Thursday and you don't have to golf, you can just come and get in a cart and drive around with us and just hang out. It's basically partying on the golf course, right? Talking shit to each other while we're doing a little scramble stuff. You can do that. You just got to respond to CannCon. Email him cancon@cancon.net or something. Let me double check what this email is. Hold for processing. Now I can't find it. Yeah, cancon@cancon.net. So make sure you email him so you can join us because we have to let the course know how many people are going to be coming. What else do you guys got for me? Otherwise, I get you out of here early. I think Ghost might be going live after this. He is. This May 60s, I think I heard it was just a matter of just getting down to 240 a gallon. That's all. I mean, it has to be national average. I guess I have heard about the UK grape report. I haven't covered it yet, though. Does Tesla make self-driving cars? It's the rumor. The local Democrats who run our newspaper are being big on Juneteenth Day. It must be therapeutic for them, considering their history. My girlfriend has the day off, which is funny. I just think it's funny that people get this today off. Tattoo teacher, please, John, I'll remind you about the 2-year-old boomerang. Get CC on it. Yeah. I need it happens. It's kind of disappointing that folks want CannCon to lose a bet on low gas prices. That's the thing. I wouldn't be complaining if the gas prices get that low. I just didn't think it would happen as quickly as he said. I think it's a little pathetic that now he's trying to back out. My husband just did the self-driving, got to celebrate the anniversary of the Rosenberg's execution. Anyway. Oh yeah, happy Father's Day, everybody. That's this Sunday, right? Thank you, RT Joan. You guys have a good rest of your day. I'll be back on tonight for Only Lands, and I'll be back on again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. No, not tomorrow, Saturday. So I'll be back on tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern with Chris Paul. But I'm going to raid you guys over to Ghost. And get those guard tickets, badlandsmedia.tv/events. Get the virtual ones too, so you can join us for the content and for the golf outing. We're going to figure out how to make that happen. So you guys have a good rest of your Friday. I will see you tonight on Only Lands. Again, you don't want to miss it. The beginning of the show is going to be pretty fire. Thanks, everybody.
Let's get started.
That's what she said.
Oh, that's real good.